Panoramic lifestyle. A vision moves in all directions.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back. Panoramic Lifestyle video cast. I'm Mr. Jack Brickhouse here with Ron and Robbie of the Be Advised podcast. Before the break, Ron and Robbie dropped some very interesting information about something that's going on in China with a credit score. Apple has given China the keys to the iCloud network, so who knows what the heck is going on there. So right now we want to just transition and talk a little bit more about why they decided to start their podcast, the Be Advised podcast. Who came up with the name?
I think I kind of came up with the name. It was based off of Ron, because Ron would always walk into the office and just be like, "Be advised, Ron's
Well, no,
code."
that's how I'm like, hey, be advised, they need a flip chart in Golden Room. Like,
So
they
yeah.
kind of adopted the phrase, and it kind of stuck.
Kind of went from
On
there.
Be
Yeah, I was
Advised.
kind of thinking of stuff we could call it. I thought "Be Advised" was the way he
And it
said
wasn't
it,
taken up
which
yet.
we recorded for the
The
intro.
name.
I thought it was a cool tongue-in-cheek type of thing between us two.
Yeah, no, I think
It
it
works?
definitely works. So the question I want to ask you guys next is, when you decide to do a podcast or anything when you're speaking to the public, what went through or what situation happened when you guys decided, hey, this will be a good idea, like I want to do this, because is you, for lack of a better word, becoming arrogant enough to say, hey, these people want to hear me talk. Like when I first started a podcast, I went through that. It's like, do these people want to, why do I think people want to hear me talk? Did you guys go through that at all when you decided to put this together?
I think the main thing is people didn't want us to talk to them.
Right,
They didn't
right.
want to
Yeah,
hear
good.
this stuff.
Right.
And we couldn't find anyone else that would hear us talk about it until Ron came along and we started talking. And it's always been a running thing at our work that we're going to start a podcast, and everyone had their inputs of what should it be, blah, blah, blah. No one ever stepped up to the plate. And then Ron comes along and said, hey, I want to do this podcast. And I said, great. I've been wanting to do a podcast for so long. And what do you want to do about? We want to do about conspiracies. Awesome. That's what I'm into. That's what we talk about all the time, because no one else wants to hear it because it's so taboo, right?
Right,
It's you almost get shunned upon from thinking about the opposite of what the mainstream is going for. So it's always like, oh, that dude's crazy, that dude has something going on with him or whatever. And me and Ron found a common ground. I don't always believe in what Ron thinks. Ron doesn't always believe in what I think. But we find
We can discuss it,
certainly-
and not get mad at each other.
Exactly.
Right, you can have a good
That's
discussion.
what we need
Exactly.
in society more
So a lot
today.
of the times it's people getting mad about what we're talking about because they have a personal investment in whatever we're talking about, whether it be 9/11. Like, I can't talk to my wife about it because her whole family back east are all firefighters. So you can imagine
Okay,
that, right?
right.
Imagine that Thanksgiving discussion
Yeah,
around the
so
dinner table.
that's off limits. Like,
Right.
but and you try to go into the space thing, which I'm really into, and people just can't fathom that the government would lie on that kind of a scale. But it's proven time after time. Like, and it's crazy to me how people don't see this. Like, there's patents about how we would have started a war with Cuba by attacking ourselves.
False flag.
False flag events, and like and then you could Google all these patents about geoengineering and like them controlling weather and hurricanes and whatnot, and you're just going to be like, no, they can't do that. Like, there has been so many steps in between them trying to do this stuff, and you just want to say, no, it can't be real. Like, it's crazy to me.
It is, and so let's talk about so you guys are 3 episodes in now, right?
4. We just
episodes?
wrapped 4 today before
Okay.
we came here.
That's why I'm wearing a nice shirt.
Yeah.
That's why he wore his nice shirt today.
So let's talk about the first topic. What was the first topic you guys said, all right, we're going to do this. What is the first thing
The
we're going to
Walmart-
talk about?
So
That's
in that
Walmart.
one, so there's a declassified document, internment and resettlement operations, FM-39.40. You can look that up, and it's a declassified document. You can get it on PDF, and it's about 300 some odd pages. There's a lot of stuff in it, but overall, it's talking about if any sort of disaster happened, hurricane, nuclear war, whatever, how they would classify each citizen and what camp to put them in, and they literally call them internment camps. I can't make this up.
It was a job posting for
There was
people
also
to do
job
this
postings.
job of not only detaining war criminals, but detaining like illegal immigrants.
Yep. And so the hot button issue of that week when we did that was the youth migrant centers that the illegal alien children are locked up in. And my thing was that, okay, this has been said that this is going on for years and nobody believed it, and now light is being shed on it. And if we don't, I want immigration to be
Right.
enforced fairly,
Right.
But if we look at that and just go back to your fucking meal and go, oh, that's too bad, and nobody says anything about it, the message the government is giving is you're next. And you're next because you're a dissident. You speak out against things that are going on in the government or government programs or things that, a corporation, the government enabled them to do something. If we don't speak out about these things 10, 15, 20 years down the road, you're in that camp too, brother.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
And so, somebody definitely has to take the challenge and put out the information that you guys do. What has been the reception so far from, just friends, family, relatives, anybody, associates? Have you guys had any feedback at all?
I mean, not much.
Not much.
Doing a conspiracy channel it is what it is, right? You're only going to get the couple people that are going to buy in right away because that's what they're looking for. So we're hoping that this will open up because, like again, our podcast is just scratching the surface, just getting your interest peaked about doing your own research, and we're not the end-all be-all to the information, right? There's still plenty that we can learn too.
We're working through it as well.
Yeah, we're working
You're seeing
through
the
it
process
too.
of people working through information, and we want to show that process, the way that people have a conversation over a beer. And I had to refresh my beer, by the way, over the break.
Absolutely, yeah. You can see he changed out. You had a draft first, right? Now you went
Yeah.
bottle. What did you? Oh, you Miller with me now?
Yeah.
Oh, you came down off the High Life, off of the
I'm Miller
off the
Lite.
Stella. All right.
That's
Yeah.
my water.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So yeah, so you guys did. I definitely remember the Walmart, and show 2 and 3.
So show 2 was like chemtrails and global warming.
Chemtrails.
I
Yes.
really liked.
That was his.
That was my
field.
baby. It's just, I honestly just sit in the back of my pool and just float and look at the sky, and just watch these big clouds being formed. And people are like, well, that's just contrails, right? It's the chemicals
they call it,
freezing
yeah.
up in the atmosphere.
Contrails, condensation trails.
But you can see the difference between them, and we show a video of that. Like the contrails just disappear, maybe
a couple hundred feet behind the
I don't know.
aircraft.
Yeah, a couple feet. I mean, I can't judge it from my stance, but and then the contrails, the chemical trails, just fill the whole sky, and it's like they say, oh, this is contrails. It's just natural. Well, then you should be seeing it every day, right? Planes are flying all
Planes
the time.
fly over every day. Why wouldn't they be laying down the same thing every day?
Right.
But on certain days, there's like a checkerboard. Like clouds don't form that way, right?
Right.
And my wife is a huge non-conspiracy person, and I've actually flipped her over to this side because we'll just sit in our
Really?
pool and watch. And it's just crazy because the clouds just start making clouds instead of just disappearing.
It's cloud
Right.
seeding.
Right.
And there's a lot about it. Like we won't go too into that, but
We'll talk about
It's
the
just-
video of the Saudi Arabian guy.
yeah, we on our episode 2 of the podcast, we show a video of in Dubai. They show you how they cloud seed. The dude's telling you, all right, we have this weather system coming in. We need to make it stick inside the city so it rains more.
Right.
And they show you their whole process of it, and it's just like, how can people not see this? Like they're doing this there, and they're so open about it, but here they're secret about it. And I was like, no, it can't happen. Like like.
Wow. Yeah, no, it's definitely an interesting show. Again, when I was introduced to it, shout out to Addis P. Gunner, who connected me with Ron, who connected me then with Robbie, and I got to take a look at those shows and see all of this great information. I'm like, I'm a part of it. Like, as soon as I saw what it was, because I'm all about that stuff. It's just spreading information. It's okay to have an opinion, and then what I really like is that you guys back up. You guys provide some type of data with whatever you're talking about or a video. So I think that's all good stuff. So let's do this. Let's go ahead and transition. We'll do one more segment, and we'll talk a little bit about the logistics of putting together a podcast, any challenges you guys face, and just kind of give anybody that's viewing this some tips to help them get started. That cool?
Awesome.
All right.
For sure.
Panoramic Lifestyle will be back with the Be Advised podcast.